What's up, twisted people? Oh
Hey,
my
hey,
God,
hey.
still reeling from that WandaVision episode. Oh my gosh, we are doing it. It's your girl, Chauncey K. Robinson, aka Twisted Woman CKR, and I'm joined by my brother from the same mother, Damon Robinson, D Rockablock. How's it going, Damon?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I'm good. I'm good. It's our birthday week, y'all. Our birthday week. Don't ask us how our mother was able to somehow work it out that me and him was born the same week, 10 years apart.
Yes, right.
What? My birthday is on March 1st. Damon's birthday is on March 6th. Yeah, so we are going, we're celebrating our birthday week. So Damon's birthday, your birthday is actually going to fall on our final live stream after we've all seen the final episode. But this one was the episode before the final episode. But yeah, so thank you all for joining us who are joining us in the live chat and those of you who are joining us in the replay. It's always appreciated that you go on this journey with us to slice into storytelling. And if you, want to, do a little something and spread a little love or ask a question, try to do it with a super chat because we always enjoy talking to you all. And, it's not required, of course, but, showing a little love if you'd like, especially for our birthday week. Why not?
Why
You
not?
want to send some birthday love me
Why
and Dave
not?
way. We will always appreciate it. And also be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and to, subscribe if you haven't already, because we talk about a lot of stuff here. I love slicing into storytelling, but we have WandaVision episode 8. And a lot of things have actually, a lot of things happen in this episode, Damon. And, we actually heard some news as well from Kevin Feige, the president of Marvel Studios, in regards to WandaVision, because people asked if there was going to be, we talked about this actually in the previous live stream where people were like, do we think it's going to be a season 2? And Kevin Feige was kind of vague about it. He gave some other stuff too. If you want to check out a video of my mini rant, my argument about the fact that it seems like they're going to have Blade be rated PG-13, check out my video where I say all the reasons why that is not a good idea. But if you haven't checked out that video yet, please do so. And, but one of the things we actually heard when asked directly, like, is there going to be a WandaVision season 2? Kevin Feige basically said it would be dictated by the story.
Yeah.
More so being very vague, because whatever happens in the final episode, y'all, is going to let us know, can there be a season 2 of WandaVision? Because he was using it in comparison to some of the other ones, right? Like She-Hulk and Loki and some other stuff, where he was saying those lend themselves, he didn't say Loki, but he said like She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. He said those lend themselves to be multiple season shows. WandaVision, it would depend on
the other show,
the other movies and shows, like you said, that they're connected to, because as we all have been hearing, WandaVision's plot line is supposed to be connected to the upcoming Doctor Strange movie in a way, because Wanda's supposed to be in the Doctor Strange movie. So I guess that would dictate if there would be able to be a WandaVision season 2, and even what would it be about? I mean, depending on what happens with her character and what their plans are for her character, and also Vision's character when it comes to it. Some of you, Cage is saying, hey, Cage, thanks for joining us. And the chat is saying, oh, happy birthday. Thank you. It's our birthday week. I bring in the month of March. So unfortunately, on my birthday, rent is always due. So that's just how it is. I lose money on my birthday. That's what happens. Red Eyes, I don't know if you got some gloating to do or maybe kind of a concession, because I remember on our previous video in the comment section, you said you would be really excited about this episode because you said people were going to feel some type of way and that you would be proven perhaps to be the right person. So let's see if that held true. Red Eye saying, don't see the point of a season 2. Honestly, Michael Damien, of course, is saying happy Robinson birthday week. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. Cage is saying, I still hope Blade will be rated R, but if they are dedicated to PG-13, I hope it's due to the workarounds I mentioned. Yeah, you did mention that, some of that in my video. Yeah, go, y'all, if you haven't checked out that video, please do so. And, comment with your thoughts about whether or not Blade should be rated PG-13 or rated R. Red Eyes saying, so feels good for me to be in the 1% of people who said Wanda's powers were magic, not science. So Red Eyes is confirming that he did come around to brag a little bit when it came to, because that was also a thank you, Jed, for wishing us a happy birthday week.
Thank you.
Was saying that there was a debate for those of you who were joining us in the live stream last time or watched it. Thank you for doing that. Where we were talking about the magic and or the powers and what they were based in. A lot of some people were saying that it's always kind of based in science. Others were saying that this is very magic based, including Monica, who we didn't see this episode actually, but people were debating on whether Monica's powers were magic or science based. And I think Red Eyes is basically saying, by what we found out about Wanda this episode, that Monica's powers must be magic based as well. So we'll see.
So do we consider cosmic as science? That's what we're saying?
No, not cosmic. Well, I think the question was this magic. We see that Wanda's powers are very much magic. Now, when you say cosmic, then there's the idea of the asteroids and stuff giving some type of energy off. And I think that was the debate.
Where Monica
you felt like Monica's powers originate from, because I think they definitely do in the comics. Yeah, but I think the question is, if Monica was coming through Wanda's magical field, which is what she did, then shouldn't her powers be magic instead of science?
Remember, that magical field gave off the CB I can't remember, the CBR, CBDR, whatever.
I was gonna say CBD,
and that's a cosmic energy.
Yeah,
so that's why I mean, they was trying to say with Monica, she went through this force field made of Wanda's magic and cosmic energy. So I figured that's what they were saying. That's
maybe a merger.
Yeah.
I think when you think about it, Marvel, because I've been reading the Eternals. The Eternals comic books to kind of get acquainted with that movie coming up. And I've been reading Powers of X and House of X recently. And I think the question is, I feel like Marvel has never wanted to necessarily be too distinctive about the source of powers, because I think that can get into religions versus science and stuff. So I do think they somewhat keep it vague, but I feel like them saying like this energy has been around since the beginning. It's kind of their way of saying, well, who knows who made it, but it's there. I think that's what they're more so doing, because they don't want to get into this idea of who bestows powers and things like that. Bannon is saying, actually, the comics, some version have her a magic person, others a mutant, and yet others both. When it comes to it. Cage said, I must have missed that debate. I knew of Wanda was magic, but maybe Monica's exposure made her susceptible to cosmic powers. Yes. Well, Erica, thanks for joining us in the chat. Erica is saying, am I the only one still hoping Pietro is still out for our Fox Quicksilver? I think you may be right. Pietro. Erica, I think you may still be right, because, and we're going to talk about it when we talk about this episode, because the question is, where did Agatha get the body from? Because she couldn't get it from, she even said it. She couldn't she can't do necromancers.
Well, she said her eyes and ears. I guess she just made it, whip them up.
No.
And they just,
because we still have to go back to, we still have to go back to what happened with Monica when she came to Pietro, as Agatha called him, fake Pietro. From this universe. But he may still be from our Fox Quicksilver. And I don't think this episode actually said against that. I think it just said it's definitely not the Pietro from this episode.
She never mentioned the multiverse. They never even mentioned that basement being the that Nexus.
They didn't mention it, but that's not to say it can't be.
True.
Like, what's that book she has? You know?
I mean, yeah, they never told us what the.
There's a lot that still hasn't been revealed. They very much narrowed it down to specific reveals to this episode, but not to. I mean,
it's a lot of open space that they could fill in, because we know every Nexus is supposed to have a Guardian, but who knows if when the dude did the snap for that 5 years, the Guardian got snapped away too.
Maybe.
That's how Agatha could have found it. I mean, that's just a theory, but we know Nexus has a Guardian, and unless that rabbit the Guardian, who knows?
Red Eyes is seemingly agreeing with Damon, but like I said, neither of you have been proven right, which is that Pietro being pulled from another universe theories also did in the water, according to Agatha. Not really. Where'd she get him from? She never said where'd she get this guy from.
She faked
no one.
Okay. And what she say? She said, and because you were so you have no belief in yourself, you believed it right away.
I don't know. Michael Damien said, I'm actually glad it was magic and not science. It's nice that being a Marvel superhero isn't limited to those only good at math. Very true. Because it does seem like a lot of time with Marvel, it's always the scientist that gets to have the powers. So, yeah, thank you, Rob. Well, it is my birthday on Monday, so I'm considering this my birthday weekend, March 1st, and it's Damon's birthday on March 6th. So y'all will be able to wish him a happy birthday directly.
Yeah.
So,
the last show on my birthday.
The last show is on his birthday. So it's our birthday week, as we are calling it. Red Eyed saying, she says she made him up so she can see through his eyes, but your theory may still hold true if you ask the question why she chose that Pedro. Exactly. Why that look? They didn't look that much alike, the two actors.
No, they didn't. I figured it was it was Marvel poking fun.
Okay. Bannon is saying that's what I've always loved about Marvel. It's diversity, magic, science, mutants, gods, aliens, is everything. That's very true. I've actually been having some sort of epiphanies this week as I have downloaded Marvel Unlimited app and the DC Universe app, and I've been reading so many comic books. Speaking of which, for those of you who are interested in Harley Quinn,
just skill. Shang-Chi, I believe, do he have magic powers or is it just skill?
Wait a minute. Let me finish this. Like, you just throwing me off. I was about to plug one of my videos. Thank you, sir. For those of you who are interested in Harley Quinn, I did a recent video of Harleen, the graphic novel miniseries 1 through 3. Which is amazing. But I talk about some of the specifics. No spoilers if you're interested in that when it comes to Harley Quinn DC Comics. But what I was going to say was that as I've been reading this, I've come to wonder if maybe I'm becoming something of a Marvel girl comics wise, just because I'm a little tired of this rehashing of the legacy characters DC always does. And I'm realizing Marvel has so many different kind of characters that they don't necessarily always have to redo their universe every 4 or 5 years that DC tends to do, because they always tell the same stories. So there's that. And Ra is saying she agrees with Damon in terms of Pietro and saying, I think that's all it is, Marvel having fun with us when it comes to Evan Peters being gone. Well, that would be cheap of them, I think. But and quite disappointing. Especially when we know they're going to be doing multiverse. They literally, that's part of the name of Doctor Strange's upcoming movie. Is the madness of the multiverse. So what, all right, Damon, what were your overall thoughts of this episode? Overall,
I enjoyed it. I liked it. We went back and all the missing pieces leading up to it, they showed us. That was good. We got to see Hayward. That's his name.
Hayward, yeah.
For what he really was. Yeah. Agatha, my Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't think she's as bad as she's being made out to be. I don't know why they chose to use her as the bad guy in this, but I still think it's a bigger bad behind her. I just think it's gonna drag on like they did with Thanos for the movies.
Okay.
But other than that, great episode. I enjoyed this episode.
Okay, well, speaking of big bads, I want to pose the question to you all in the chat, and those of you in the replay who are joining us, thank you so much for that. Is I asked you last week if you thought Agatha was going to be evil, and we'll talk about that in this episode, but we saw the reveal, which was White Vision. And I know Cage, one of our watchers and participants, has brought up White Vision often. What do y'all think about the physical embodiment of Vision? And we'll talk about how he's in the comics. So we'll talk about that this episode. But do you think this White Vision is for good or bad? And I got some theories that I've seen online about who White Vision or what role he will play. But I want to ask you all, do you think he's going to be good or bad, at least for the next episode? So let us know in the chat and also in the replay your thoughts on that. And so Bannon is saying, I don't think Agatha is evil. I think she loves knowledge and wants to learn all magic. So I think she is a gray at worst. I agree. I think she's gray. I think Agatha is gray. I think and we'll talk about this, her origin story and stuff like that as well, and showing that kind of grayness about her. And I kind of appreciated the way Marvel has categorized witches as well as not good or bad necessarily, because and I'll talk about how they tend to get a bad rap in mainstream movies and things when it comes to making a woman a villain and whatnot. So I thought that was cool. And let's give it up for Kat Harlem, who with the super chat. Thank you so much, Kat. Thank you. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. Happy early birthday. Thank you so much. Kat is saying, I don't think Marvel should commit to a season 2 of WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, or Loki. The TV show should be based on storylines. That's very true. I feel like with WandaVision, Kat, they basically set this up as a precursor for the upcoming movie that Wanda's supposed to be in.
I think they mixed a lot of storylines in this Wanda thing.
Oh yeah, they did.
We know they're doing somewhat a little bit of the House of M.
Yeah.
Now with the White Vision, they're doing somewhat of Vision Quest.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they with the guy. Remember, I was when I was saying last week about the Avengers Assemble cartoon where they had trying to get Vision's body. I mean, that turned out to be the same thing with Hayward, but I guess he's not the guy from the cartoon. He's playing the Brock character from Vision Quest, I guess.
Okay.
Who's so we know he's not Ultron.
Mm-hmm. I've got some theories about Ultron, y'all, which we'll talk about. But to speak, I agree with you. And to speak to Kat, I agree with you, Kat. I think that I would love a season 2 of WandaVision, but not in the same vein. I would love a season, if they're not going to give Wanda her own movie, I would love a series of her being Scarlet Witch. She had her own solo series in the comics. Why not give her a TV show along with Vision? Because they actually had a couple series, right, where they fought crime and saved the world together. Why not do a WandaVision consistent show, kind of like how we're getting with Falcon and Winter Soldier? I think that would be. I think in this vein, they couldn't do a season 2 because what would it be about, right? If they continue with this. But I think as superheroes, like saving the world, doing her thing, she has plot lines. There could be potential there. I would want that if they were going to do it. But the question is, what is Kevin Feige's
thinking about?
What's his plans for Wanda? What's his plans for Vision? What's his plans for these characters?
Are they making comics now for Falcon and Winter Soldier?
Yes. I don't know if there's been anything out recently, but in the last, I think there's some about them. Yeah. There's been some recent, really great ones too. And it's so crazy for me saying this as a person who I thought I was really a DC person, but I don't know. Marvel's really been bringing it with these comics as well.
I mean, they've been bringing it for like about 40 years now. I'm glad you're catching on.
Excuse me. It's been a divided household, y'all. Someone's leaned a little bit towards Marvel, Damon, and Chauncey has always leaned towards DC. But I'm just tired of them. I'm tired of DC rehashing legacy characters. I kind of like that. With Marvel, I get a new slate of people every so often, which is nice. But thank you so much once again, Kat, for that super chat. It's truly appreciated, and we love talking these storylines with you and everyone here. Bannon saying definitely bad, a tool used by Hayward in terms of my question about Vision. He's white because his self is stripped from him. Yeah. Cage is saying, I have to admit there are definitely Marvel series I do enjoy. I still prefer DC overall, but I love the X-Men and Spider-Man and things like Ghost Rider comics wise. So Cage is saying, I think he'll be Vision without his personality and memories, just a shell of Vision until he may be restored. I think maybe in Doctor Strange 2, we could get a hint of how to restore Vision. I've actually got some theories once we get to it about how I think Wanda may be the one to bring Vision back. So, yeah. Red Eyes is trying to bring me back. Don't jump ship, Lo. We're supposed to be DC for life. I am, but you hear all this new news. They keep rehashing. They're going to do another Superman. It's like, why? Like, I get it. Everyone, Michael B. Jordan might be the new Black Superman, but I'm like, just give him. There's so many. I'm not even going to get into it, y'all. I'm going to probably make a video about it because I'm just kind of tired of rehashing legacy characters. Bannon is saying, thanks, Damon, for making me feel so old and talking about how long Marvel has been bringing it. Kat is saying, I still believe Agatha wants to help Wanda for selfish reasons. She showed her jealousy of what Wanda was able to do with Westview. Mm-hmm. I think she wants to be able to do it herself. Yeah. Yes. Mike is saying, go ahead, Damon.
The quest, she definitely had the thirst for power. But she has some good. Like she said, I'm just teach me. I'm willing to learn.
Yeah. She wants to be in on it. That's what she's saying. She's like, how did you do it? Just let me know.
No, I was referring to when they was when all the witches was, I guess,
yes.
To her, and she was like just teach me, just help me learn.
Like I can be good.
I can be good. Help me. So I still think she's good in her. I mean, she's always been a mentor for Wanda. Even when she died, her spirit would come back and be a mentor.
In the comics, be
a mentor for Scarlet Witch. So I'm like, I want to change that.
And we even saw that a little bit in this episode, and we'll talk about that. Michael is saying, I think that there was a lost decade in the 2000s, but other than that, I agree with you, Damon. If anything, Marvel won me back with WandaVision. Yes. Okay, y'all. So overall, Damon liked the episode. Overall, I liked the episode. And let's talk about some of the main things that happened before we jump to like the theories and stuff like that. So what we got was an opening. We didn't get any kind of sitcom opening, y'all, because we're out of the sitcom stuff.
Real world right now.
But we did get Marvel Studios in purple. And it wasn't for Prince, y'all. It was for Agatha. Marvel Studios in purple. And what we saw was Agatha in 1693 in Salem, Massachusetts, which is kind of a play on her comic book origin of how she was one of the people persecuted as running original Salem witch. But I felt like there was a little bit of a twist on this one because it wasn't the townspeople, it was her fellow coven that basically turned on her because as her mother, who she also killed, basically said, you've been looking at magic and stuff that is beyond your rank and that you shouldn't be, and it's dark magic and things like that, and you shouldn't be touching it. So at first Agatha was like, no. Then she's like, listen, she's like, it wasn't my fault. It built, it would basically, it bended to my will. Like that's not really.
I didn't break y'all rules. I just bent to my power.
Yeah, the magic bent to my power. What can I do? And so they weren't trying to hear it. Her own mother was about to take her. But funny enough, as the witches were trying to kill her, she was able to siphon off their magic and took it into herself. And we saw that when stuff was turning purple. And even with her mother, who was very powerful, she was able to overpower her as well. So that was Agatha's sort of origin story, that she used to be in a coven in the 1600s. She wanted more power. And it seems like her main gain has to been to enlighten herself, to like get all the magic that she can in terms of who she is. So then and I love that origin story. What did you think of that origin story, Damon?
No,
That they kind of switched it a little bit.
No, I liked it too. It I don't think it really switches it. It just show because I mean still she could have they witches still could get that thing happening selling where they still burn the witches. I take that as happening before that happened.
Yeah,
but it kind of reminded me when she was draining all their powers. About the little boy on the thing, the Yo Magic thing.
Yeah, that totally. And I think you had mentioned that, and some others had mentioned the idea of Yo Magic being in reference to perhaps Agatha wanting to get Wanda's magic somehow, or at least, find out what it was about. So then we go to, the fact that they're still down in the basement. Wanda tries to use some power, but what she has, and we kind of, with this exchange, I thought an interesting thing occurred with this exchange, y'all, which was the fact that, Agatha tells her, you can't use magic against me. This is a protection spell, dear. And she's telling her stuff. She was like, you don't know the basics? And I felt like that kind of hinted at what we were talking about, Agatha being something of a mentor to Wanda, because she's like, how do you not know this stuff? Because Agatha even says, this takes study, like what I'm doing. And she's like, you just got magic on autopilot. Like, how is that? Mm-hmm. I thought that was a very good exchange. What do you think?
Yeah. I realized then that Agatha actually thought that Wanda knew what she was doing. Mm-hmm. She figured that she's a witch. That's why she's like, you didn't notice all the runes around the thing.
She's like, you didn't see this? Because basically Agatha's like, you are super powerful. Clearly you're doing this, and I just want to know, can you just let me know? Because she's telling her, she was like, I was just waiting for you to I saw the sitcom and stuff, and I was waiting for you to kind of reveal yourself. And she was like, you kind of never did. And she was just like, then I realized you are hiding underneath this all, because like you said, Agatha thought Wanda was doing it consciously in a way, and kind of knew it. And that's why she was like, just show me how you did it. I want to know, because you basically changed time and space, and you've been bringing people back to life. I just want to know. Kat is asking in the chat, didn't Doctor Strange study the magic above his level too in the Doctor Strange movie?
Yeah, he was messing with the green thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it definitely is a thing. And Cage was saying, well, I think he has a huge back catalog on unreleased material because he was a constant. Oh, they're talking about Prince. Y'all are talking about bringing Prince back in the. I don't think Wanda could do that. I think she's got bigger things than bringing back Prince right now, y'all. But Red Eye is saying Agatha's agenda is basically a witch who's mad at a witch for being a witch and wants to know why. To a degree, I don't think it's necessary she's mad at her. I think she's she's mad, and it kind of gets revealed. She's like, you have all this power, and this is what you're using it for, like to make breakfast for dinner. Like this, you got all this magic in you, and this is what you're doing with it. And I think Agatha, being someone who has been about power and about learning as much as she can, she probably in some way is mad at Wanda because she's like, you're wasting. I feel like she's mad at Wanda because she's like, you're wasting your potential by doing this. Like, you could be doing so much more than what you're doing right now.
She's mad because she don't understand why you have this much power, and you
in
don't
the first place. Yeah.
You're doing stuff where you're not even saying the words for it, because everything she did, she had to say it.
She had to actually do an incantation. She had to do an incantation. She had to do a spell, and that's why she was like, "Your powers are on your magic is autopilot. How are you doing this?"
All the people at the edge of town.
Yeah, she's like, "You've got storylines going on that you aren't even aware of. Like, how is this possible?" And Bannon is saying, "Yes, it was great. It also showed the disparity of their power too. Agatha is powerful partly because she is fully trained. Wanda is super powerful and using it purely on an instinctual level."
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Red Eye saying she has to have a being agenda than just wanting to know why. That too.
She definitely got an agenda.
Bigger agenda, yeah.
I got a theory on what's all that's going on with her. Like I said,
and we'll talk. Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah. Hi, Victoria. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Ra is saying Agatha mentioned Wanda was using chaos magic. Agatha is the kid in school who studies and studies only to get a C+, and Wanda is the one who falls asleep in class but still gets A. Exactly. I think you've hit it right on the head right there, Ra. Is that Agatha's like, this, what I do takes years of study. Like, even the small thing I'm doing right now with the bird and that bunny eating the bird. Something's going on with that bunny, y'all.
What's going on with that bunny?
But things like that, and here you are, you come along and you're just creating this whole thing, and it's like you don't even realize you're doing it. And I think you really showed that one with it, Ra, is that's definitely what we're seeing here. And so, there's a whole thing, and basically she also reveals, as we were just talking about, fake Pietro, because she says necromancy can't do that because his
body's on a different continent.
His body's on a different continent and it has holes inside of him. So I think this also shows us, like Banda was just saying, the disparity of magic is that, Agatha can't necessarily use material to bring people back from the dead. She's not capable of doing that.
That explains, remember when the kid said you could bring people back, and she just stopped them. Was like, you could do that?
You can do that? Like, what's going on?
A lot of little stuff like,
yeah, like you can do that? You can bring people back? Like, what's going on here? And that kind of gets to what I was saying and what some of us, like Erica and others, are holding out for in the chat. And let us know also in the replay, y'all, that because she cannot create nothing from nothing, because all matter exists, right? Cannot be destroyed. That why does she pick that guy who just happened to look like Quicksilver from Fox to be Pietro?
But what we do know,
is
that she can take things and turn them into other things. Okay, yes. Know that.
Maybe it might be revealed.
She had the dog.
Yeah.
And then she turned. Well, how do we not know that she turned the dog into Pietro?
That too.
We seen her turn a beetle into a bird.
Yeah. So maybe she changed the face, but why go through that and not do the face of her actual brother?
Because maybe you needed the body to do the face, so maybe she could just come up with a face.
But she can make a bird from a beetle.
A bird from a beetle. She ain't had the body of the bird.
No, you're tripping up.
It's an illusion. Like you said, an illusion. It's an illusion.
Okay. So Cage is saying, I think Agatha was born more powerful than others and is suddenly shocked and scared someone else is much more powerful. Big fish, small pond syndrome. That too. Maybe she might be like, I thought I was one of the strongest ones here, and here you come, Okay, so we got that.
Magic, we know that.
Yes.
The magic attracted her there.
Exactly. She felt it because Agatha seems to be someone who very much can sense, is in tune with things like that. So then we get Agatha saying, why do you do this? How do you do this? And then, Agatha calls Wanda's magic, autopilot. And basically we get her taking the hair, which is a little bit of a stereotypical witch kind of thing where they tell you if you think a woman's a witch, don't let her get your brush or anything like that, because when a witch can take your hair, they can use your essence and put spells and hexes and things on you. Fun fact, y'all, if you didn't know that. So basically this whole episode basically is going through major moments in Wanda's life. And that's why I felt this was such an emotional episode, and it was so well done. Not overly done, to me, not emotionally manipulative in the sense of they want to get you to cry, but really just playing on a story that had already been built and them giving you more details in it, which I think is such a great example of wonderful storytelling that they've really taken the time to do. Yeah. And I was really happy with this episode. I think it was one of the most powerful episodes of this season so far. The thing
was it is that they're explaining to us why Scarlet Witch is Scarlet Witch.
Yes, because we got Scarlet Witch. Yeah,
Scarlet Witch. I love the fact that in all the movies before this, that they never ever called her Scarlet Witch. Mm-hmm. They kept calling her Wanda. I know you say because they didn't have the rights and all that. They worked. This is the first time they actually worked some shit they didn't have.
Right? And ended up working it out.
And like, yo, this is perfect right here.
Right? It was a happy accident.
Yeah, this is for people who don't know who never knew who Scarlet Witch was. This is great right here. Mm-hmm. They don't watch Wanda become Scarlet. No, I mean they watching Wanda become Scarlet Witch.
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Bannon saying Agatha can use transformative magic, changing one thing into another. Wanda can actually create something from nothing.
Yeah,
very true. Bannon saying, but who's to say Agatha didn't reach across the multiverse and grab someone like a former Quicksilver and bring them to Wanda's verse? Thank you, Bannon.
But she didn't say it. She didn't say it. She's telling her what she's doing.
Well, maybe she didn't reveal everything.
Why not tell her that? Think about it. Why not tell her that?
All right. Well, play some bets, y'all. Play some bets because Damon's really putting his foot down. Hater. Yeah. So basically, and Michael Damon saying he did, y'all. He teared up a few times during this episode, as we were watching it. So we get one of the major moments, which I think, like we were saying, kind of explained the idea of Wanda's affinity towards sitcoms, because they're kind of her happy place, because her father her father sold bootlegs or something, like DVDs.
Oh no, he was selling American movies over there where they from? Sokovia.
Yeah. Which is fun, Damon. And I think this is just a remnant of
with a T though, right? And it's like, oh, that is the country. I don't know.
It's Sokovia. They have Sokovian accents. I thought it was Sokovia.
Yeah, it is Sokovia.
Yeah, but I was trying to say, I felt like this was a callback to our childhood, because as soon as they opened that thing, I was like, oh, her father sell bootlegs. I was like, because we're from Newark, New Jersey, y'all. I don't know if you know, back in the day, people, before everyone could download stuff off the internet, used to have bootleg DVDs.
They know bootlegs.
Y'all know what it is. So
like this,
right? Where they had the video in the theater, and you hearing the guy chew on his popcorn, and you're like, I wish he stopped chewing so much. I hear the dialogue when you watching the DVD.
People walk in front of the screen while you recording.
Right, so I was like, oh, her dad sell bootleg. They just like everybody else. So that was interesting.
They had box sets. They want bootlegs.
Yeah, they had the real ones, but they had got it from the US and whatnot. And that's very interesting, Ben. And Ben actually points out something that Agatha actually said, that Agatha said to Scarlet, which was, well, that accent comes and goes, right? Yeah. Because that was the thing when she said, give me back my kids. Agatha was like, give me back my, like, that accent just comes and goes, doesn't it? Like, what's that about?
Yeah, that was funny. I liked it all.
Oh, the whole thing. Agatha was wonderful this episode in a very subtle way. She was really good.
Like how you doing? She like, I don't know. Did she just slant against the wall a couple times?
So you gonna tell me I'm trying to be nice, right? I was like, we need more Agatha in this universe. I hope we get a lot more of her. Victoria saying, I was laughing because he was selling bootlegs. And Suke, exactly. Victoria, I was like, yeah, her dad sell bootlegs. She from the hood. She's from the hood of Sokovia.
That's about as hood as it gets in Sokovia, probably.
Right?
That's the hood and where we live at. They bombs through the roof.
Right? Oh my God. That was the ghetto right there. So basically they go into her childhood, and we find out this is why Wanda has such a love for sitcoms, because one, that was their way of learning English, was through sitcoms. And we saw that her first one, that one of her faves was the Dick Van Dyke Show, which very much,
And we missed that. We said we named a lot of names for that.
We didn't say Dick Van Dyke. We did Bewitched. Yeah.
Yeah, we said a lot in it, but I didn't even. I knew of a Dick Van Dyke Show, but I didn't know. What I did find out though, is Mary Tyler Moore is a very beautiful woman.
Yes, Mary Tyler. You be behind the times, Damon. Yeah, she was very nice looking back.
I never watched the show.
Wow, she got a nice body.
I see the smile, but okay.
You wanted to be nice, but yes, she has the whole package, Mary Tyler Moore. At one time. But yeah, so we get that with the Dick Van Dyke and stuff like that. It makes the connection, y'all, right? Like, it makes the connection back to what we have been seeing since sitcom, because like Agatha was saying, she's like, she was like, I couldn't understand, why are you stuck in this sitcom thing? Like, what is this about you? Yeah. So, that was the connection, that sitcoms were her happy place. And so, all throughout these moments, we get those things like Malcolm in the Middle and stuff like that, which Rob points out. Can we talk about Malcolm in the Middle is among those DVDs? Wanda's posed to be 10 here. So 1999, Malcolm in the Middle came out in 2000. Anachronism, probably,
It was it was
it in the suitcase though? Or was she watching it in a later...
She was watching while she was sitting on the bed at the Avengers compound.
Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't see Malcolm in the Middle in the suitcase. I only saw
she was watching on the TV show.
Yeah.
But,
so Rob, let us know.
Yeah. When they're under the bed, and we always thought that they were just stuck there while the bomb was there, and she actually stops the bomb when she says, "Oh, that's just what you call it, probability magic, probability something she said,
spell or something."
Yeah, a probability spell. Like, wow.
Yeah. So Rob, in terms of what you're
witch, like she had the power, I guess, before her latent gene was.
Yeah. Which we'll talk about that. But Rod, in terms of your question, I didn't see a DVD in that suitcase. I think she was just watching it later, unless you did see the DVD. So I don't know if it's necessarily an anachronism in that regard.
No, but we did see her sitting on the bed when Vision came in watching.
But that was years later. Ra is asking if with the DVD that was before it should have came out. So if it was like a mistake on Marvel's end. But I don't think we saw Malcolm in the Middle in the suitcase. But to what you're saying, Damon, about the thing, yes, that was very interesting that she was like, what I think is a baby, Agatha's like a baby witch. And basically you stopped that bomb. You could have died. And Agatha also pointed out, you just laid here and for 2 days, y'all were here and y'all were just nice and cozy and nothing happened to you for 2 days, So like you said, that's kind of the revelation. I think we kind of talked about that in previous live streams where we were saying that this shows that kind of, I think you had maybe mentioned it, where you were saying that Wanda had some powers that the Infinity Stone woke up, but she always...
They said Sokovia was perfect ground for the experiments because they had a latent gene in them, like a lot of the Sokovian people. Mm-hmm. That was in the Wakanda files. That's why I got that from. But I mean, when she said, "Oh, that was just a probability spell," the way she just reached her hand out and was like, "When I wake up, it's all gonna be a dream," and stop that bomb from going off. So is Pedro a witch too?
Well, that's the question, right? But it would seem right now they were focusing in on Scarlet Witch, and it seems like Wanda did definitely have powers inside of her already, even though they were like baby witch powers. And people are also saying that Malcolm in the Middle was in the suitcase, so y'all are probably right. Okay, that was an anachronism when it came to that. But yeah, so Wanda's parents, and they die in the blast. It's just her and Pietro, and then they basically, as Agatha says, join an anti-freedom terrorist org. And she was like, you use that and that's what you end up joining? And Wanda tries to kind of say, we wanted to change the world because we saw the Stark Industries was on the bomb, right? So this connects, right? We saw Tony Stark and we saw Stark Industries on the bomb. And this is where we get, Wanda and Pietro's hate towards what they deemed was the reasoning for, what happened to their parents and to their home and stuff.
So was them the parents from the commercial though?
I thought, when she turned around, I thought it was the mother. I did think it was the mother. I did. But I don't know. I don't think it was the mother because that definitely wasn't the same father.
It definitely. I don't think it was the mother either. Because I don't think it was the lady from the Nexus commercial. She wasn't.
Probably the nose was different. Yeah, you might be right.
And the other one when it was back in black and white, she seemed like she was a little thinner than that mother that was right there.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it wasn't the same.
I
Maybe
never went back to check though. So if anybody went back to check, maybe let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the chat, y'all, if the actors who played the parents were the same from the commercials. And we know that was a theory that was going around, that it was the people in the commercials were the parents, but I definitely didn't think that was the same father. I don't think that was the same man actor. I couldn't tell with the woman though, but let us know if y'all might know in that regard. And so, we have a thing where we have her in the terror song, and she's a volunteer, and she basically goes towards what we know as the Infinity Stone. And the Tesseract that Loki had been trying to get in one of the movies.
That was actually Loki. What you call it? A spear?
His spear.
Loki spear. Yeah.
He was trying to get it back in the movies and stuff like that, and that was a whole thing of his powers. And it was an Infinity Stone, right? So what we see is that Wanda actually volunteered, but as the scientists were saying, that every test subject they had used up to that moment had died.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see something come out of the stone, a body, it seemed, a woman.
Yeah. Well, actually,
and towards her, and then Wanda passes out. And then we also see that later the scientists have nothing on video of what had actually happened.
It didn't. To them, it didn't occur. They didn't see, because I guess the box opened up and then the Mind Stone came out of the box.
Yeah.
And it's like it showed her, because it looked like the Scarlet Witch actually is what the person she's seeing. I don't know, because it seemed like I seen a figure in there.
It was a figure. That's why I was asking you before we started.
It had the Scarlet Witch headpiece on, to me.
I didn't see the thing about the headpiece. I did see hair flowing. Yeah, I don't know if I saw the headpiece.
And the headpiece, and the thing she wear. I thought she wear with the hair flowing.
Well, let us know in the chat, y'all, because my opinion is I definitely saw a figure. I think Damon and I agree on that it was a figure. I'm just wondering who it was. Was it future her? Was it something that already belonged in the stone? Was it like her other self kind of finally finding her original self and coming to her?
Stone supposed to be sentient too, so I think it just showed her
who she was supposed to be.
Yeah, who she is supposed to be. Probably awakened her, like what Agatha say. She said, so you touched the Mind Stone and it showed you something rather than she said something that would have a grape that would have dried out on a vine. It woken something up in you.
I think she was referring to her power, right? Because before that, Agatha was saying you were a baby witch. And she says, it seems like you touched something that probably would have died off inside if you had this stone. And I think she was talking about her magic. Like you were a witch. You weren't using your powers anyway. So it probably would have just faded from you, as, is one of the things when it comes to magic. You don't do it a lot. You can get rusty. And so with the stone, it woke up and, elevated what was there.
What was there already.
Yeah. And others are saying in the chat, some are saying, well, Kat is letting us know that the actors are different, that it's not the parents' actors. Thank you for that. And others are saying, Larisha, thanks for joining us in the chat. Irisha is saying it was a vision of her future self with her traditional headpiece that her father and sister wear. Okay. Yeah, because Damon, you actually mentioned before we came on air about how in the comics, her father,
the Scarlet Warlock.
Yeah. Her grandfather of some sort is Scarlet Warlock.
Yeah.
In the comics. So, and yeah, it seems to be a lot of you are agreeing with this stuff, that it was a vision of her future self coming to be.
I thought I seen the headpiece. I seen the headpiece.
Yeah. So that's very cool that the Infinity Stone kind of, that it realized and it saw her and it came. So do you think that means that she had always been the rightful owner of some sort, or just bestowed that power?
No, it just showed her, the Mind Stone is sentient.
Yes.
In vision, it won't just, it was a part of his mind also. So it ain't a being, I guess, but it's a sentient object. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I guess it showed her, I guess, what was in her.
Yeah. Yeah. Arisha is saying, I like the Magneto storyline with Polaris better. Wow. Yeah, she's is referring to the comic book plot line of how all that came to be. They definitely are switching it up, but that's, because they never had Magneto, or, they just recently got Magneto after this stuff was already situated, so they can't bring him into it and stuff. And this just yet necessarily.
But now they switched it, and what they say that their parents weren't really their parents, but their aunt and uncle.
Yeah.
And their mother, that's how they link them to the Scarlet Witches or Warlocks. So
yeah, no, I thought that was very cool. I mean, this was just such an epic episode in such a subtle way that I really I appreciated that for sure. And one of the things that we got, and I love that they played it so Agatha was kind of learning as we were learning, because I felt like that did need to be explained. So that was a very good plot device to have that as well. So I appreciated that. And so what we got was, we got one of the the moment when she's sitting on the bed. She's at the Avengers headquarters, and we get this beautiful moment with her and Vision, which really drives home just how wonderful of a couple they are. And I feel like I wasn't a shipper when they first started in Avengers, because I didn't feel like I got enough time with them to really do that, to really, be invested in their love story. But I feel like this show has really drove that home for me when it comes to the two characters. And it was a very beautiful moment between them. And once again, her watching Malcolm in the Middle, and, Vision laughing at a moment, and him being Vision and stuff, and them having this very beautiful moment with each other of, her talking about how much she missed Pietro and stuff like that. And I thought Vision said something so beautiful, because he was like, what is grief if not love persevering? Because Vision was saying, I've always been alone, in a way. And of course he wasn't alone once he and her got together, but he was saying, I've always been alone. And what you have is that the belief, what you got with grief is showing that you loved, and I thought that was so beautiful. And it just shows what a great character Vision is, which is why he needs to be fully restored, y'all, for phase 4. That's just my belief of that. And I thought it was so cute when Agatha wiped the tear. She was like, okay, like, because it was beautiful, it was really, it was such a beautiful moment, I thought. And I think it really just showed that grief that she had, and also just an important part in her life. What did you think of that, Damon?
I mean, yeah, besides the mushy part about it, I didn't cry over it.
The mushy part, y'all.
See, I remember I came up. They was always a couple. They was always an item. So it wasn't new to me. Scarlet Witch and Vision love each other. I mean, yeah.
But this you have no heart, my friend.
No, I mean, I wasn't moved by it. Maybe if it was new, I'd have been moved by it. That's what I expected.
Okay.
I was more aware of how the guy was lying.
Oh, Hayward?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get to that too. That
pulled the most emotion from me. I was very upset.
Okay, let's get to that in a second.
He doctored that video like that.
Yes, hold on. Let's get to that in a second. But Ra is saying, did y'all see the headdress Agatha's mom had before Agatha killed her? Yeah, that was something that was very similar. So, I mean, it's definitely a thing where I feel like I love that we're kind of exploring this idea of the magical realm and the beings within and the witches. And we see that there are definitely connections. So I thought that was a very cool thing, and maybe might be something that they play on soon, which I think would be good.
You see Agatha take the honestly, them showing her with that thing at was that around the first episode? It's
it showed up a few times.
It's like they gave it away right there to me. So I know it seems like I guessed that, like, oh, that might be. Who else was it going to be with that? With the
brooch that she had on.
Yeah. No. That's why I think it's something else.
something else going on. Yeah, okay, well, let's get the series in. Let's finish with the episode. And Kat Harlem is saying, prior to WandaVision, Wanda and Vision were my least favorite Avengers. This TV show has made me enjoy them. I agree, Kat, although my least favorite Avenger still remains to be Hawkeye. But I do also...
I guess Wanda like all the Avengers who aren't real big fan favorites. That's Wanda like. She got a storyline with Hawkeye too.
Well, whatever. I won't fault her for that. So, what we got was then with Agatha being like, okay, but how did we get from this once, that without Vision being there for you, that we get to this part where now you do this. And that's when we get to, which I felt like was a reveal in and of itself of a couple revelations, right? So originally, Wanda went to SWORD's headquarters to bury Vision. She was like, I'm his next of kin, because she treats him like a person, which he is. He's a being. And, like, I'm his next of kin. I would like to give him a burial, because when I got back, he didn't have that. And I'm his next of kin and I want to do that. So what we saw was that she was actually let in, which is very different from what Hayward suddenly said to say that she broke into SWORD headquarters.
That's where he was able to set her up, because when the guy was like, let me open the door for you, he said, I got it. So that's her really blasting the doors open. Yeah. But
the other stuff was that she walked right by everybody. She didn't hurt anybody or anything like that, right? So, this, and I actually brought that up when Hayward had finally said that. I was like, when he had first said, well, she broke into the thing and stole Vision's body, I had said, I was like, why is he just now telling Monica this? Like, why wasn't that something he brought up when she was, what I mean? Like, why just bring up that this, that Vision was taken? Why bring it up now that, Monica's trying to plead a case for Wanda? And then it all makes sense, because Hayward basically was using Wanda as a scapegoat that Vision's body.
Well, really not even a scapegoat, because Vision's body never left the building.
Never left. But I do kind of wonder, because this goes back to Hayward's thing with the cataract. I think it was cataract, right?
Cataract and Vision.
The cataract, which was Vision and stuff like that. But the question is Hayward? My question is Hayward doing this on his own, or is this something where this is SWORD? Like, SWORD is.
Oh yeah, it's definitely SWORD.
This is under SWORD.
Yeah, it's definitely SWORD. It's him though. Being that he's the director of SWORD, it's SWORD. It's him. It's definitely him.
Okay.
He's controlling SWORD. Hayward.
So you don't think this is a side mission with him and his assistant, who are who with this whole thing about Vision?
No, I think everybody that knows was in on it. Only people that wasn't in on it is Monica, Darcy, and Jimmy Woo.
Yeah,
they're the only ones that wasn't in on it, and that's why they was That's why they tried to kick them off the base.
Yeah. Victoria is saying, my question this whole episode was, where is everyone else? Vision taking forever to fly over, and Monica is, who knows, can't wait till they get to Wanda. That too. I think this was more semantics of them needing to tell this story, and they're probably the next episode is going to be all of that we've been waiting for. Red Eyes is saying, Hayward lied his butt off about Wanda breaking into SWORD, which means I was wrong about her being mind controlled. Yes. Yeah. Yes, that you were wrong, Red Eyes, about her being mind controlled, but you might have been somewhat right in the fact that this power is definitely, it's been Wanda's powers that have been basically, because we got to talk about there being no Mephisto so far. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, because we got to kind of, we got to really look at our theories, Damon, because you got Agatha, but you can't hold on to that for the whole time here, because you're kind of wrong about Mephisto.
When did we see get a look at Mr. Thanos?
We saw Thanos a few times.
But I'm saying,
even when he wasn't played by the actor who ended up playing him, and it was actually a black guy that was behind the first Thanos before they changed him, right?
So this last episode, we might get a glimpse of Ralph. Witches are known to marry devils, are they not?
Okay.
My theory is still in play. I'm gonna hit
I
twice.
don't know if your theory is still in play. Let us know in the chat, y'all. And also, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up yet, please do so. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Do that too, because we love talking about plot lines and things like that. So we got to talk about the theories, but we saw that basically Hayward had been lying for a majority of it. There is a little bit of a plot hole that we have to discuss with that in a second, about the fact that we see. I thought this was also a beautiful moment where Wanda wanted to bury him. She saw what it was. She puts her hand over. She's like, I can't feel you. So basically, Vision's body wasn't there anymore. Vision's soul and mind wasn't there anymore because she couldn't feel him in that vessel that was being taken apart there. So she left, which is very different from what Hayward told Monica and all of them. She left. She drove to New Jersey, and we see that this is where Vision had brought a plot of land for them in New Jersey, of all places, to grow old together. I thought that was beautiful. New Jersey is a wonderful place to grow old if you want to, y'all. And that moment, I guess there was such a visceral grief inside of her for what she lost and everything that it just kind of came out of her. And like all the things she loved, the sitcoms, the security, Vision, what she knew and the essence of Vision was made in Jersey. So that it kind of also covered why Jersey, why Westview. Well, it was because Vision actually brought a plot of land there for them. Because we all were kind of talking about it last live stream, why New Jersey of all places. We thought maybe it was Nexus.
It was New Jersey too, but it was Leona, New Jersey.
Yeah, Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed it to Westview.
Yeah. So, but the more overt reasoning is because of Vision buying a plot of land there, which was, I thought, was a nice tie-in and everything. And so
that town was kind of shitty before she.
Yeah, it was. I feel like she kind of helped them because nobody looked happy there, y'all. Everyone looked like they was kind of sad.
Well, we did see that the mailman was just a regular delivery.
Yeah, he wasn't Mephisto. We thought maybe the mailman was Mephisto. He was actually delivering pizzas, y'all. Yeah. So Victoria is saying in the chat, that's a good point. If Agatha could feel and sense Wanda's magic, then where is Doctor Strange? Is he on vacation? New York and Jersey is not that far away. I'm just saying, but he's coming. But isn't that always the way even in comic books where you see straight up Metropolis or something, DC, but like other places where someone's town is being like totally decimated and like only the one superhero who actually lives there is doing something about it a lot of the time. And you're like, why doesn't he call up so-and-so? Like, don't they all know each other?
They don't need nobody. This isn't that wasn't that type of comic book.
I think it's more exactly. It's more so like, well, this wasn't a crossover episode. So we're not going to bring that guy in this time or that girl in this time. I feel like that's usually why we don't get what is more so obvious to us watching it or reading it of why don't they get Doctor Strange? In this case, plot line wise, I don't think Hayward wanted Doctor Strange or anyone to have any part of this, right? I feel like Hayward's main goal was getting Vision back online.
Oh yeah, right? Definitely.
So he didn't want other people. He just wanted in on whatever Wanda was doing. So that was something I thought. And so, my one question though with that was, I don't want to go off a too tangent on this. I kind of want to get to like the end episode and stuff like that. Is that actually, I'll ask this at the end, y'all. I want you, and let me guess if you know what plot hole. I feel like they revealed a plot hole, or maybe it's not a plot hole, and maybe they'll talk about it next episode. But there's a plot hole with White Vision. And before we get to it, let me know if y'all are gonna get what I think that plot hole is. But before, what were you about to say, Damon?
I was about to ask, like, how did Hayward remember he said to her, we can't give you the body, especially when you're able to bring your dead lover back to life.
Your soulmate, yeah.
How does he know that she can do that? Because she don't even know. You can see her face, like she like, no, I wouldn't. She doesn't even know she could do that.
Yeah, no, there's definitely.
How does Hayward know that she can do that?
Maybe he's been doing research on her and figured, or maybe, like you said, maybe there's someone else who told him this.
Possibly.
Maybe there's someone else who said Wanda's the one who can give you what you want if you want Vision back online. I thought it was such a cold-blooded thing where he was like, well, you don't own him. Like, you know, like Vision is just a piece of like slab.
That leads when she told him, ain't nobody gonna keep him away from me. It's like a lot of little sayings and stuff that was happening in the beginning of the season. And we finally like figuring out like, oh, that's why she meant when she said that to him.
Yeah, because isn't that funny? Because when Hayward had confronted her, he was like, "You're keeping a whole neighborhood hostage." And she was like, "I'm keeping people hostage." And I feel like maybe she was talking about Vision's body in a way too, because she was like, you know, you say I'm keeping people against their will. Here you are holding my lover's body in your facility. You know what I mean? And you won't let me have it.
And when Monica was like, what do you need? And she's like, I got everything I need, and I'm not gonna let no one keep them from me again.
Yeah, exactly. Because she has everything she needs here. And she don't even have Vision.
You commented on that look. You was like, she looked at him weird when she said it. And when we came on, you was like, she gave Hayward that weird look when she said when she was like, and no one's gonna never keep him from me again.
Exactly. I was like, why she look at him like, you know what I mean? And it was like, because Hayward wasn't trying to, he's like, you can't put $3 billion worth of vibranium in the ground. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, you know, thanks Nerd Soul for dropping by. Nerd Soul is a cool YouTuber, y'all. He has a great channel. He talks about a lot of stuff of comics and TV shows and things like that. Thanks so much for stopping by in the chat. We're talking WandaVision. It's interesting because, you know, we see that she brought Vision back, not his physical form. She did not have that. That's very clear, right? She didn't have that, but she brought his essence. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to come into play. I got some theories on why that is, y'all. But I think that's going to come into play. But Kat wants to let us all know that they are tired of hearing about Mephisto and the devil. Kat is saying, I didn't think it would make sense for a character of that magnitude to appear in a TV show. A movie, yes, not TV. So you heard Kat.
They're going to link it.
Who's talking about Mephisto?
Look, we know that this show is going to link to the movies. We know that. I mean, so you're right. It is for a movie. Kat Harleman is exactly right, but it's going to link from this show to that movie.
Okay. Bannon saying that's a good point, Damon. If Mephisto shows up, he's Hayward. Victoria is making an assertion that Hayward is Hydra, which they did research on her. You might be right. I feel like Hayward's too grimy to just be a regular sword person. And to me, I think you might be onto something, Victoria, that Hayward may definitely be Hydra in this regard.
You don't think well, maybe he is. I'm about to say, you don't think after the last Hydra incident with Shield that they didn't look into that?
Listen, let's not act like in real history Project Paperclip, where we had Nazis all up creating NASA. Okay, they do it sometimes with the knowledge because they want the knowledge. So it's not that hard to believe that the government may be okay working with some Hydra people if they thought it benefited them.
So Maria Rambo was like, "Sure, bring Hydra along."
No, not Maria.
She started sword.
All right. Maybe he's undercover, or maybe he defected eventually once he thought something else. Maybe. He might have come in one way and started to go into something else.
Y'all got to remember, it took Sword almost 30 years to infiltrate Shield.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hydra. It took Hydra like about 30 years to infiltrate it.
Okay.
Michael Sword is new. It's only 5 years old, right? Or however it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, maybe.
Michael is saying in the chat, that's the first time I've shedded a tear for a machine since Terminator 2. Kat is also saying the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show has made me sick of Hydra.
I believe you.
People are saying Secret Invasion. Ray is saying, I think Hayward is a Skrull, and referencing Secret Invasion. You might be right. We are going into phase 4. And we did hear from Kevin Feige, president of Marvel Studios, that Wanda's season really relates to the bigger picture and what's going to be happening in movies and stuff. So we may be getting a taste.
Well, Secret Invasion is going to be a TV show, though, right?
I think so. I think that's what you told me. And did you say it's going
to be a TV?
Who don't know, Damon? Explain what Secret Invasion is for people who may not.
It's like I guess it's like the Skrulls already being on Earth, setting up. You know, they infiltrated us already. That's what Secret Invasion is about. The Kree is going to help. Help try to find out who the Skrulls is. But you see at the end of the last Spider-Man, it was actually I believe they were Skrulls pretending to be Nick Fury and that lady he be with, the chick from I can't remember.
How I Met Your Mother. I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
You
know, they was I guess portraying to be them, but they was actually Skrulls because Nick was on a spaceship. Where you see the hex on the computer screen that they say might have been him looking at Wanda from the beginning before all this. Nick Fury, like he already knew.
Thank you, Kat. It's Maria Hill. That's her name. The one that's always with.
That's what Secret Invasion is. Basically, the Skrulls already being here. Nick Fury finding out and Shield. Shield to the rescue.
Yeah. Well, that may be something they're setting up. You know, I wouldn't be surprised. Ray may be onto something as well.
I mean, Sword's gonna be in all these. Sword gonna be in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. So Sword,
something else we get a glimpse of.
Sword gonna be through all this. Really, you would expect Sword to be in Secret Invasion because that's what Sword was formed for for threats that was coming from outer space.
Yeah.
You know, this is on WandaVision. It's the new Sword that deal with dangerous weapon.
Supposedly,
yeah. That they switched it up. You see a lot of Sword though.
Victoria is asking, oh yeah, before it's too late, did you see the Spider-Man titles glitching and does it relate to WandaVision? Perhaps. I know there was a whole thing back and forth about the new reveal for Spider-Man was Spider-Man No Way Home.
That's
the latest title. And we do know stuff is changing. Multiverse of Madness is happening. And this is I think it's gonna be a big upheaval for everyone. And I definitely I think Wanda's gonna play a big part of that. I think this season is setting that up. So I could definitely see, Victoria, it being a connection for sure.
Well, that's what they were saying, right? WandaVision to Spider-Man to Doctor Strange.
Yeah. So we may, it's I'm not gonna lie, I think this is pretty epic what they're doing in phase 4. The other phases of Marvel have always been like, okay, we know Avengers.
I just wonder how they're gonna tie being that it's coming, how they gonna tie the karate movie in with all these.
Well, the funny thing is Shanghai, right? I think that's Shang-Chi. My bad. Shang-Chi, I think for sure it's going to be coming out before all of them.
Yeah,
coming out in June.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how they're going to link that.
Yeah, because it can't be out of nowhere. And I think Shang-Chi was supposed to come out sooner than that, actually. So it got pushed back. Shang-Chi was originally supposed to come out before WandaVision came out. So I don't know how much it's going to connect, to be honest, because I think that movie was originally that upcoming Marvel movie was actually supposed to come out before WandaVision was.
And I guess it was supposed to come out after Black Widow, but before WandaVision.
And now we're having before even Black Widow's coming out. So I don't know. Those might be one-off. I know for sure. What is it? What's her name? Scarlett Johansson movie.
Black Widow.
I know that's definitely going to be an anomaly. That's not going to be connected to anything because it's the past, right? So it's
before she goes, but it might introduce that other Black Widow. Her sister.
So
that's
maybe she might be in phase 4, perhaps.
Yeah.
And Victoria's asking, when does Loki come out? Loki comes out. Well, it was supposed to be May, but I guess I'm hearing it got moved to June now. So Loki's coming out in June, and we're not getting She-Hulk till 2022. So yeah, there's a lot getting rejiggered around when it comes to this. But I think WandaVision is very central to these things. And so what we got with Agatha, the kids were still real. I thought the kids were like a decoy, to be honest. I thought that she had
made kids.
So like Wanda really made those kids, and we don't have. And if y'all remember, like we've been talking about, I know Kat don't want to hear it, but we were talking about in the comics, those kids were originally part of Mephisto, and we have not gotten a Mephisto. And right now, aside from speculation, it doesn't sound like we're getting a Mephisto, because aside from speculation,
them kids are still going. They're still not going to survive this. Think about it.
You know, if Wanda is super powerful,
she might. What happened to Vision when he tried to leave?
He got that.
The same thing must happen to the kids. They're not real. They're just like Vision. They're from her. Thing is, now she might be able to transfer Vision's
Don't take my theory. I told you that.
She might. Yeah, I'm just saying. But who's she gonna transfer them kids into?
That is true. Let us know
in the same way
in the chat and in the replay. Do you think her children have a chance of surviving it past Westview? Because as we know, Vision wasn't able to leave behind the grid because he came specifically from that part. So he wasn't able to exist outside of it. And this may be the case with the children, because like I said before, they've made it so it's very centrally focused, unless something happens where Wanda expands over the whole entire globe. And then her children will be able, because she changed space and time of the whole universe.
You know why I might, you know what? You know, I might have to I might have to be contradicted to myself, because he did say that you're the Scarlet Witch, you're like the mother of creation. So now maybe she created them kids and they could live. I don't know.
Yeah.
We just know Vision couldn't. We know that for certain because we've seen it.
Yeah.
But she did say in this last episode,
outside of Mephisto, they actually join young.
I mean, but they're reborn.
Yes.
And they have to go through the whole thing of finally meeting her and asking her, "Are we your kids?" and all that. You know, they're reborn. Them kids that Dr. Strange delivered from her, they went back into Miss Mephisto.
Okay. Well, let us know in the chat and also in the replay, y'all. Thanks so much for joining us here thus far. We're still getting to theories. Don't worry, we're not ending just yet. But let us know, do you think the kids are going to be able to exist past this season, or if they too will have to? I think that would be really hard on Wanda, though, if she has to give up those kids. So I think the question is are the kids going to be able to make it? Red Eyes is already saying those kids in Vision are not real. I think Vision is real. His heart is real. So though, and Red Eyes is basically saying those kids are
once the bubble come down.
Y'all are cold-blooded. Shamar is saying, I mean, she did birth her children, so maybe they are real. She did birth them. They came out of her.
If that's what she meant when she said you're the mother of, or you like you. I can't really narrow.
I can't remember exactly what she said, but I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But it was something about creation and how she could just create.
Yeah. And they came out of her. She didn't just like morph these kids. She literally was pregnant, Damon.
I mean, she was pregnant for half a day.
She was still pregnant.
She was pregnant for 2 hours.
Anyway, Bannon is saying, I think they are part of Wanda, and if Agatha sucks the magic from Wiccan, I will be pissed. Like that boy in the commercial. Yes, she could try to take the powers from them. Ray is saying she made her kids and current husband. Okay. I think, I agree with you, man. I think Vision is real, just not physical. I agree with you. I think somehow she was able to take his essence or have his essence.
I think so too. I think when she was like, I can't feel you, she made him from her remembrance of the feeling she got when she would be near him. Because remember, before he phased through the wall, she just looked and was like Vision, because she felt him. Yeah. So I believe she made him from her feeling.
Maybe, yeah. Although he can't remember anything prior to that time, which is very interesting.
But he still got that good moral sense that Vision always had. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't understand that. I still don't. But I guess saying he's coming from what she know, and she knows him as being he's an amoral person. He's always for good. I guess she just used all that, and that's why he is the way he is.
Those qualities. He also thinks on his own to a degree too, right? He left that thing and he was trying to help, which is very interesting. She didn't control that at all. Victoria saying, geez, Wanda stays grieving. I need her and Monica to become besties already so she can have a grieve buddy. Yes, I agreed. And so what we ended up getting was Agatha holding the kids hostage, saying, and that's when she uses chaos magic, which we'll talk about in a little bit, y'all. She says, I know what you are now. I finally get it. You're using chaos magic. You are Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, she said you're dangerous. Yeah,
and you're dangerous. Yeah. And she said you're using this power to do breakfast for dinner somehow. And it's like, what are you doing? I get what you are now.
She got a little older a little bit. Did she? Did look like she got
the hair. Well, her hair had been gray since her origin. You kind of saw that when her mother was. Her hair always kind of been gray, I think. And Ray is saying these last 3 losses are what gonna pull a Brittany, but they will be reincarnated like super soon.
Yeah,
perhaps. I don't think she'll pull a Brittany. Also, free Brittany. This is a free Brittany household, and YouTube. We always want to free Brittany from her. No, she's not in jail, Damon.
Oh, you'll
be out of the loop on so much.
Oh no, that's funny. No, that's funny because I was
in jail. What she do?
Brought me a river the other day. That's why I'm like wow. No.
Okay, anyway.
I just realized that he made 2 songs about her. I didn't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Victoria, yes, leave Brittany alone. Give Brittany back her autonomy. We agree. Damon, you need to go on Google.
Who speaks on Justin Timberlake? Oh, but who speaks on Justin?
Anyway,
I digress.
Yes, you do digress. Anyway, moving on. So what we didn't got was the end screen, and we got Hayward. And we got the real Vision, but not the real Vision, at least Vision's body, as others have brought up, which was
Vision realer than Pietro, I tell you that.
Yes, he is realer than Pietro. And it's the actual physical embodiment. And he didn't say anything. He seems very much aware. And so what we also got was that Wanda never, like we had already said, Wanda never actually took Vision's body. And so this is what we get. And I'm just showing a picture of Vision from the comic books of what he looked like. But this is the Vision of some time. And they actually changed his coloring in the comic books because it didn't look right on comic book paper.
Yeah.
Have him just be white. So they gave him coloring, which I think is way better. He kind of looks like a
he looks like
a Silver Surfer.
He looks like a Silver Surfer just with different designs on his body.
Yeah, he looks like Silver Surfer. So it's probably better that they ended up changing it. So that's what we got. So let's talk theories, y'all, for the last part of this. I got a few. I do want to talk about chaos magic a little bit because chaos magic is actually not just something Marvel came up with. It was something that originated in England in the 1970s, and it pulls off of the idea of results-based magic. It's called like success magic. I'm looking up. I looked up some stuff to let y'all know about this, so y'all know that Marvel did not necessarily come up with chaos magic, but they did put it into their story. And basically, it basically doesn't just do incantations and stuff. It basically comes from kind of like what Agatha was telling Wanda what she was doing, which was, it's just kind of like from you. From certain practices and stuff, but not necessarily incantations and things like that. So chaos magic is definitely something beyond just Marvel. So that was pretty cool to find out about. And, some theories that some people have on the interwebs of the world is that White Vision is actually Ultron. That argument has been going around where they're saying, according to some fan theories, the White Vision is Ultron. Somehow Ultron is not dead and capable to make a backup to revive again. Due to Ultron's head has seemed in the Spider-Man movie, Hence, this buzz for the Ultron revive is spreading among Marvel fans. However, all these are just, of course, speculation. So let us know, y'all, and Damon, let me know what you think about that. But let us know in the chat, y'all, do you think that this Vision is, or the White Vision is somehow perhaps Ultron, coming back? Or do you think he's just like a blank slate? More so like the Vision without his soul. I personally think it's kind of Vision without his soul. And my theory or my hope is that since we have Vision's, for lack of a better term, soul inside the thing through Wanda, his love, I think what Wanda may be able to do is merge the two. I think Wanda will be able to place her Vision back into his physical body to have his soul. The reason why I use this, and for those of you, I don't know if anyone in the chat has been reading some of the latest X-Men Marvel comics, Powers of X and House of X, which is an awesome, just awesome series on X-Men, y'all. I mean, it just really streamlines. We can forget about Ultimate X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, and whatever that was and stuff like that, because this one really does a great job when it comes to the X-Men. But one of the things that stands out in that one is what Professor X is able to do in bringing mutants back to life with his cerebral, and basically through some other mutants. I won't go into too many details of that. The other mutants basically create an egg and harvest the other mutants who have died, that they know for sure have died, and create their vessel again. And what Professor X is able to do with the cerebral is place their mind back into the vessel, to basically their essence. Now, it doesn't get into the whole thing of soul and if they went to heaven or anything, but basically the last of their knowledge and who they are goes back, and their memories, that's who they are, going back into the body. I think, as we all know that, Marvel writers and everyone kind of read each other's stuff and things like that, I think that this may be something they may allow Wanda to do when it comes to the thing of Vision and placing what she created of his essence, of course, without cerebral and stuff. Cerebral being the thing that, if y'all have watched X-Men, the thing that tends to be on Professor Xavier's head when he goes into people's heads, stuff like that. That she may be able to do this without that and basically place his essence that she has of him back into his vessel. So that is my vision. That is my theory of how we're going to get Vision back into reality. So Damon, what do you think about that?
I don't know how they would explain that, being it ain't no X-Men in this world yet. But
I'm not saying they're bringing X-Men. I'm saying they're going to use the same method of the idea that just like Xavier is able to get people's essence, I think because Wanda knows Vision's essence, that she's going to be able to place what she has inside the thing onto his real self, so he can then leave and he's not just confined to that area. That's when I just use that as an example of saying Marvel is doing that in the Marvel comic universe. Mm-hmm. So it's possible they might do it on WandaVision.
I understand what you're saying. The first thing about him being Ultron, I don't know. For him to be Ultron, that would mean Ultron would have to be controlling Hayward. Mm-hmm. So
you don't think he's controlling Hayward?
He could be. I mean, it's a definite possibility. We do know, after seeing the head in Spider-Man, and I guess when they was killing him, he had downloaded himself into something or something away anyway. Mm-hmm. But, I think they just gonna go with the storyline form in the comics,
which is
to where when he got disassembled and they put him back together, he didn't have his emotions. You know what I mean? All the things that made him, the little wittiness and stuff like that, he don't have it. He's basically what he was made, not what he was made to do. I guess what Ultron was gonna have him for. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking Hayward just made him as some type to be security, to be able to have a weapon against the superpower people that he can't control.
But I guess my thing is, do you think that Wanda will be able to place her Vision, not her Vision, but the Vision she knows, his essence, on back into his vessel? because then that means what happens to the Vision that's within the hex?
True. I mean,
that's my thing. I don't think he's just gonna evaporate and not be there anymore.
It'd be a possibility. I don't know as far as how her type of magic will work on someone that's not basically a person.
What do you mean?
I mean, he's not a person.
But he is a person. The body is just a vessel, whether it's made of flesh or whether it's made of synthezoid vibranium. Our bodies are just vessels. Right.
Well,
so the idea
if we going off that logic, then I guess she can put them back in. If we going off that logic.
Yeah, don't be a vibranium. Don't be a species, Damon.
No, listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
Okay.
Him being a person was after the Mind Stone helped make him a person.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that's where they wrote themselves into a corner. If you ask me,
he don't have the He didn't get wavelength from Wonder Man in this version,
which is in the comics. Yes.
Yeah. So he got his sentient being himself from the Mind Stone.
Mm-hmm. The same stone that was it. No, that's the Infinity
Stone. It was the same stone that got that she seen the thing.
Exactly. So that could be the connection.
They could.
Both of their powers come from that. Well, both of their powers was ignited from that Mind Stone, right? The idea of
I know what you're saying, but
his true self is ignited, right? And if Wanda has this power also inside of her, why wouldn't she be able to do it again herself, just like the stone did for him originally?
She probably could. Maybe that was why Hayward said, "Why would I give you a body of
exactly
that can bring their lover back to life?" So
that's why he also said, I should have gone to the source from the first point, and that's how he was able to bring Vision back online.
The thing that the plant that back out to him,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Red Eyes is saying with that theory, I would think Hayward is working for Ultron. That's why he's obsessed with Vision. But I agree, it's a soulless Vision. Bannis is saying, agree, Chauncey. I think that is exactly how they bring him back. Kevin Feige loves using comic material in his stories. Exactly, and I think everyone, y'all need to read Powers and House of X because it is amazing. This new X-Mister. I don't know if they're gonna bring this version of it into the MCU. They possibly could, the way it's really set up. It's a new one that came out in 2019 and still going. Or that this arc, this whole thing of it is still going. And I could definitely see them doing what they're kind of doing for them of being able to bring people back in some way.
Or he could just come back the way they brought him back in other comics. I mean, this ain't the first time.
I know it's not. Yeah.
He's been broken apart. But I mean, like you said, she got the Mind Stone power in her, so it's a definite possibility that could happen. I don't know if they're going to use the thing from the new comics. I don't know how they would explain that of why she did it because then again they probably could.
She has his essence. That vision that's there is not just her. It's not just her controlling him. She had some type of part of his essence to bring that back. And I think that's what she places into his soulless body, into the vessel. Ray is saying chaos magic is worse than dark magic. Chaos magic does not obey any of the rules or laws of nature. And it's pretty much like expression from Vampire Diaries. Oh, geez, Vampire Diaries. But I get what you're saying about that, which means there's no rules, which means we can get Vision back. Red Eyes is saying, I keep telling y'all Hayward is working with someone. So Red Eyes is still under the thing of there being a bigger bad. Ray is saying White Vision is pretty much closer to Ultron than the Vision. The Vision without a soul would be more like Ultron, just running on pure logic. I think Wanda will place Vision's essence in White Vision. Exactly. I think that's how we're going to get our real Vision back. Red Eye saying, Chauncey, I agree. Wanda will put Vision in White Vision. I think she has the power to do it. I mean, she's done everything else. Why not that, right? Josh is saying, I don't know. I'm not sure if WandaVision is going to have a happy ending, though, especially if this leads into Doctor Strange, too.
I don't think it's going to have a happy ending either. I mean, they might bring Vision back, but we know them kids ain't. We know that. Come on.
I think I saw earlier Michael Damian saying in the chat, I've never seen kids torn apart on Disney before. So First time for everything.
Right. Hey.
Bannon is saying, I think Wanda used some of the Mind Stone energy to manifest her vision, and her chaos magic can do anything. Exactly. Michael is also saying, you guys are awesome. I watched this for WandaVision and stay for the amazing metaphysical conversations. What is life? Can you place souls in the vessels? Are we just a bag of meat? Yes. And Victoria is saying, or the two visions will fight and both will die just to mess with us. Don't say that, Victoria. That's what everyone else is saying online, and I don't want that.
No, you got to give me this, though. I did say I was waiting to see a Vision Wanda fight.
You were, but what we're going to get is that fake Vision.
It's a white Vision. The white Vision is never fake. He's canon. What are you talking about?
Oh, whatever. But you know, he's soulless. And yes, he probably will. He's probably the one thing that can fight her. I wonder if Agatha's going to help her. That'd be the question. If Agatha's going to help her go at this white Vision, you know, because a lot of them are probably coming together to fight this guy, right? To fight this. That's going to be, I mean, if nothing else, y'all, this final episode is going to be epic.
When he tried to go in, being that the thing changes everything that goes through there.
That's also a thing. Will he try to go in? And if he does, what happens to him?
Oh, they getting ready.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to do something.
Yeah. No, that'd be interesting if he goes in. Yeah, I didn't think about that. What happens if he goes in? Because we already have a Vision in there.
That's what I think too, Josh.
Josh is saying, I think Hayward is basically doing what Tony Stark did in Age of Ultron. So traumatized by the snap that he's doing anything for the powerful weapon and going against reason.
Yeah, that's what I think.
So you don't think there's a big bad behind him? Y'all just think Hayward.
I think it's a big bad. I just don't think it's behind Hayward. I think it's behind what's the name? I could be wrong, but I think it's behind Agatha. I believe she kept bringing up Ralph for a reason.
Okay, so you still think Ralph is Mephisto?
Y'all keep bringing up this Ralph, and we never ever. I mean,
yeah,
she didn't have to. She was in control.
But we also, Monica kept bringing up the engineer, and we see where that went. We didn't get him.
You're right. He made it. We got the thing he made though.
Yeah. Ray is saying, like another model, his humanity is what makes him differ. Ultron is all logic unless this is just a drone, but White Vision is supposed to be what Tony planned in the first place, a shield for Earth.
Yeah.
That's true. Victoria is saying, wait, but didn't they say that you didn't necessarily have to watch the shows to understand the movies? If that's the case, then Vision will remain dead. Maybe.
Well, you didn't have to watch these shows?
I don't think that's the case with WandaVision. I think with WandaVision, you kind of, because of the fact that it is leading into
the next movie that's coming out.
Yeah. But if you're also right in saying that he doesn't have, I mean, I think if I understand, you're saying that he doesn't have to remain dead. Vision could come back to life, and just Wanda ends up having to help Doctor Strange in the next movie because she's aware of the whole thing of the multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
Ray is saying, I guess it's the ethical question of artificial life is still life manufactured or born, no matter how we came to be being created. Well, based off of some people's stuff, we are creating of something higher, just like some people created Vision. So who are we to say he can't? You know what I mean? Like,
but all that, his consciousness, all off that Mind Stone.
Yeah. But not just off the Mind Stone, because you said it yourself, Damon, in Wakanda, they were going to be able, they just didn't have enough time to remove his Mind Stone and be able to have him stay who he was. Yeah,
but they actually said that in one of them Avengers movies.
Yeah.
It was the fact to pull the thing out his head.
That it could have happened, but they didn't have enough time to do it. Maybe Wanda's the person who has the power to make it happen.
True, could have been, but that before they knew of her power like that. They was talking about science bringing him back to the person he was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ray is saying, remember, people burn the skies, respect the robots. We struck first, blue pill for life, Zion for life, prevision. Yes. And Michael is also saying this is the exact question of the first Pokemon movie. Yes. It's Marvel's just gone all over the place with this. Okay, so y'all, I said that there was a possible plot point. And I wondered if anyone was going to guess what I thought that plot point was. A plot hole. I said there was a plot hole. And one of those ones, if y'all remember, and someone else brought it up on the internet too, and this made me think, y'all remember when Darcy was looking into the cataract file, and she actually said that somehow Hayward was tracking Vision inside the thing. And that's how they were finding out that he was moving towards the parameter, and they knew he was coming out. Right?
Yeah.
How is that the case?
If he wasn't never there in the first place.
If he was never there in the first place. Can someone riddle me this? Do y'all think that was a plot hole, or do y'all think there's some form of essence somehow in the Vision that's inside? Because how did he have a tracking device? And I can't imagine that it's really a plot hole, because I just can't figure the way they so well planned this season that they would do that.
No, it got to be a plot hole, because I'm thinking like, hold up, because it just made me think like, yeah, how do you put a tracker in a body that she just created? She didn't put the tracker in there,
because they were saying,
they said that they were tracking vibranium.
Yes,
that's what's the name said that's what they were tracking, the vibranium.
The vibranium. So what were they tracking? A Vision, if that's not really Vision.
Maybe vibranium. She knows vibranium. Like you look.
So you're telling me she created vibranium?
She's the what that lady called her. The creator of what I wish I could remember what she said exactly.
Creator of life.
You're the creator of worlds or something like that. Like you're the Scarlet Witch, the creator of So we seen her create him though.
But she did. Okay, she created a Vision. But you're trying to tell me she even created him being vibranium too. She brought vibranium from nowhere.
She created. She must have created him. She created.
So did she create the Infinity Stone that's in his head? Is that real too?
It's an Infinity Stone in this one, in his head.
He got the stone in his head in that one. So did she create that too?
Maybe she just created what he was.
Vibranium, actual vibranium, Damon.
They was tracking it. You seen it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm wondering if this is a plot hole or if she really
like I said, it gotta be, unless it gotta be, because they damn sure was tracking vibranium. They was tracking vibranium. I don't understand that one either. Why would they? How did he have him track him if he already had him? I don't understand that either.
Yeah, and somehow they knew he was coming out of the thing. Yeah. They knew that Vision was coming out. Yeah. But how would they know that if that wasn't ever really Vision?
Like maybe, like I said, maybe she did invent. Maybe she invented it.
If she invented that, she had to invent this Infinity Stone that is in his head then. So maybe it was just a plot hole. Bannon is saying one word, magic.
Magic, exactly. Yeah, maybe,
Who wants to think about that plot hole? It was magic, guys. It was magic.
But this is the thing. What made him check for vibranium?
I don't know.
Like he just knew she was gonna make a Vision.
That's what I'm saying too, and that's what others are wondering. People are like, I think Red Eyes has been saying, and others, that someone might be behind it, because how did he know that that she had done all that, enough to care, right? Because this is the thing. The whole point of reason why I thought Hayward was so much about getting Wanda back wasn't about the people, because we know he don't care about people, right? It wasn't the fact that she was holding people hostage. They made it seem like his main thing was because she had Vision's body
against his will. He said that he don't want to be brought for nothing.
And so we all know he didn't really care about that. But the main thing was that we all thought that he was doing that to get the actual body that we were made to believe Wanda stole. But if we know that his body was never there, does that mean that Hayward just figured somehow she'd be able to create some kind of energy enough to bring him back. So like it does, like I get what people are saying in the fact that Hayward's real agenda isn't as clear just yet, because I'm not really getting his line of logic in all of
that. The weird thing is the fact that he already had the body and he just couldn't make it work. So I would figure he already got what he wanted because he got the thing working now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, what is the need to get that moral essence of Vision to put in this body that you controlling that? That's if they controlling them.
Yeah.
Gotta wait till next episode to see what he.
Well, it seems like at the last minute, Hayward was like, I should have known. I should have came to the source all this time. So it wasn't like, so that also lets us know he didn't know to do that just yet. That's why I'm saying his intentions or what his end game isn't really clear.
But he also said, I mean, he had to know she'd bring her back to life because he said it.
Yeah.
He said, what do we look like giving this body to you, knowing you could bring your dead lover back to life? So, I mean, what other magic power was she going to use? He know what power she had already. Maybe not this witch power, but that's new. Well, it's not really new. It's just new. They might not even know about that yet because they outside the bubble.
Yeah. Jamie Ooh is saying, that's a very nice name, Jamie Ooh. Is saying Wanda entered Westview with normal clothes and then walked out with the drone in her costume. That's true too, but we also know Monica was kicked out of Monica was actually kicked out of Westview, right? And she got kicked out. She was still in her clothes. That was a mixture, was a form of her.
She went in with
clothes. She went in with
dressed, but she came out dressed in the style that she was in when Wanda kicked out.
Yeah, and this goes back to my theory. And I was saying this. I was like, matter cannot be created or destroyed. I don't think Vision came from nothing. I honestly don't think he came from nothing. I don't think those kids came from nothing. They had to come from something, because you can't create matter. She can create life, but she can't create things that aren't exactly totally there. All those things within that place
she
are
created,
things that are reconfigured for her hex.
She created a whole house. It wasn't no house there. It was just
no, Damon. She used. You could claim with the house that no, it was a plot and there's wood and stuff around. You could claim she used the wood and stuff from houses. No, not from other houses, from the trees.
I didn't see a lot of trees.
You know what? You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. Kat is also saying in the chat, do you think Wanda is going to set up perimeter hex around Westview and cause Agatha to be stuck there?
She got to learn how to do it.
That too, like it's, she doesn't know how to do that yet. She doesn't know how to do any of this yet. All of this is coming from just her.
She better be lucky. Agatha, when she was faking like she was stuck at a light, putting her little rooms around the town so she don't be the only person in there with magic. She could have did that.
Yeah,
because we see Wanda got her magic when she outside of the basement. The magic is back.
Yeah, because that protection spell wasn't there.
I mean, she could have put that around the whole damn town. Wanda would have never knew.
Yeah, true. All right. Well, do you have any theories, Damon, for what this? As we wrap up, y'all, do you have any theories for what the season series, I guess, finale is going to be?
I think that Ralph is going to finally show itself
as Mephisto.
Yes, right. I think Agatha is a pawn of his. She's so thirsty for power, and he's gonna offer all the power you want.
That would be a good indicator for her. That would be a good, yeah.
But I think he want to use both of them, and that's when she's gonna figure that out, and she's gonna turn good and think and notice that the only person that could help is Wanda.
So you see Agatha turning good.
Show her how to use those incantations or whatever. If she needs them, evidently it looks like she don't need them. That's one of the theories I got right there.
All right.
Theories going on.
Well, I would say this, for those of y'all who joined late or after, like I was saying, this is me and Damon's birthday week. My birthday's on Monday. His is on the 6th. He may be getting an early birthday present or a late birthday present or an on-time birthday present of maybe being, I feel like your birthday present would be Mephisto, Damon. Him showing up on Friday so you could gloat about it here on Saturday that Mephisto actually was a thing.
They definitely need to bring up this Nexus thing. Why show us it? Why even reference the Nexus of all realities? If
no, it's totally a thing. Nexus of all realities.
It is. Totally no, I know it is. I'm saying why even tease us with it?
There,
if you're not going to show us it at all. That's what I'm saying. But this last episode, it should have the Nexus thing in, and if it's going to have the Nexus of reality in it, we need to know what happened to the guardian of that Nexus. Of that.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
We need to know that.
We also need to know what that book is that Agatha has.
True, but it could be like you said.
It might be her Book of Shadows too.
Yeah, it's a witch's Book of Shadows. That's what they call it. It could be that. It could definitely be that.
It might be just all her power and things that she knows inside that book.
Rabbits don't eat insects, so we got to find out what's up with the rabbit.
Yes. What is up with Sparky, right?
Yeah, not for the rabbit is Mr. Scratchy.
Scratchy, not Sparky. That was the Sparky of the dead dog, poor dog.
You know, look, that could have been just a little hint, and not really mean go anywhere. That she named the that's what I mean.
I think that was done as a hint for us to know that it was Agatha.
Yeah, they gave us too many hints, and the biggest hint was the brooch. I'm like, now I'm thinking like, come on, that was like here, that was a gimme right there.
Yeah.
Why would the main villain be such a gimme that we knew who it was? It's 9 shows. We knew who it was 7 shows in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not that 2 shows in.
But you know they threw us off because remember you were even kind of doubting your theory because of what they did. They probably knew. You know what I'm saying? You were doubting it more than that. But you know that everyone that's why they did it because they figured people like you and others would figure it was Agatha, so they threw everyone off with that last episode. But Bannon is also saying in the chat, Wanda is a Nexus being. She is in all realities as herself. So that may be why that came up. Now, whether or not they're going to expand on that in this series, or whether or not that's going to be something we have to wait until Doctor Strange, that's the question.
Oh, so that commercial is not for this show. That commercial is for.
Maybe it might be for the movies for what may come
for next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Tim is not convinced.
Yeah, I'm not. They gotta. Next week we should know something about that Nexus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We should know, and it might not. That might not even been a Nexus in the basement. Because, like you said, New Orleans. When I looked it up, it said Florida, the Everglades, and that's why. Man thing because he could blend in with that area better. Yeah,
but we also know in Marvel they like to remix stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, but you know,
but they definitely said Nexus. That's definitely a thing. Ray is saying they have been trying, but they failed, and they don't have any Tony level genius to help with the White Vision. But they all knew Wanda had limitless potential. Yeah. Josh is also saying maybe Wanda creates more mutants instead of no more mutants to probably save her kids. But how? If they're not from nothing, if they're from nothing, as y'all are saying, I don't think her kids are from nothing. I think her kids are literally from her.
Look, we seen her create Vision that way. We didn't see the magic, all the magicalness on her creating the kids. It just sort of happened.
Mm-hmm. They literally were inside her body.
She forgot. She didn't even realize that she made Vision. Remember that? She had to see that also when she went back.
She had to realize that that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, there is so much. I mean, we got a lot of revelations, but in the end, we still have so many questions. And thank you all for so far going on this journey with us, slicing in the storytelling. Thank you all for the birthday wishes and whatnot. And we'll see if Damon gets the present of Mephisto for his birthday. Knock on wood. Pray to see it, of course. When it comes to it.
One of them.
Or who?
Nightmare. One of them.
Nightmare. Oh, the other guy, Nightmare. Okay, we'll see. My theory is I do think we'll get something with Nexus. I don't think we'll get a Mephisto reveal. I don't think that's happening. I don't see that happening.
We won't see Doctor Strange though.
I also, yeah.
Guarantee.
Well, they do say they are saying that there is a they are saying that there is a one more cameo that's supposed to be coming in. And that's so I definitely think we're going to get that. I think Doctor Strange may come in the final episode, so. And oh my gosh, thank you so much, Red Eyes. $50 in the super chat. Let's give it up for Red Eyes, y'all. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Red Eyes is saying, have a safe and happy birthday. Thank you, because when you first started doing reviews for WandaVision, you allowed me to paste the link for my YouTube channel, and I truly appreciate you for that. We've been down since AfterBuzz. Iris West Event Squad. Yes, Red Eyes. That's where you and I, you were first in the chat for the Flash, which is coming back. And we were there for the Iris West Defense Squad. Yes, we were, because we had to defend Iris at all costs, defend Black women in fandom, y'all, because they be trying it. These fandoms be trying it. We got to defend Starfire on DC Titans. We got to defend a new Batwoman. It's so true. And Red Eyes, thank you so much for that. I guess I'll let Damon have a little bit of this in the super for his birthday, since you agree with him more than I agree with him most of the time. But thank you so much. Thank you for, and y'all check out Red Eyes' YouTube channel as well, because, he does reviews and things like that. And he's DC for life for those who are in the DC fan. I'm kind of wavering a little bit. I think I'm going to be equal opportunity for a while, y'all. But, and I think it's really also important to support Black creators and commentators and things like that, y'all, because we are out here, but we don't get as much play sometimes as our white counterparts and things. And we're fans too. And so we all gotta support each other. It's so important, because our voices help shape the kind of content that comes out there, because we talk about it, y'all. So it's such a big thing. So thank you so much, Red Eyes. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Greatly appreciate it. You're greatly appreciated. Thank you. Although I think you might be wrong about Mephisto. So you and Damon can be in on that, but I think you're wrong about Mephisto.
No, we are right about Agatha, though. They can't.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're gonna run this Agatha thing in the ground.
I was right. I'm right about Pietro too.
That hasn't been proven yet. Zeke is saying, thanks for joining this chat. Zeke saying, could Magneto be the big cameo due to him looking for his Quicksilver that perhaps Agatha is manipulating?
Nah.
You might be onto something. Do you think he'd reveal Magneto though?
Nah.
People have been talking about how Ian, the actor who plays Magneto and things, is such a big influence for the main person who does WandaVision, and saying that he hasn't worked with him yet and he'd like to. And that's what is making people speculate that Magneto might be who comes over.
People think it might be of the guy who played Professor X, because the guy who plays Vision said that it's the actor that's coming is a actor he always been wanting to work with.
Yeah. Let us know in the chat and also in the replay, y'all. Who do you think? Because there's still supposed to be a big cameo coming in. We didn't really get it, especially if this Pietro is not the real Quicksilver. So that's not a big enough reveal. They're still saying there's another one. Who do you think is showing up in the last episode, y'all? Place your bets. Who do you think is showing up, Damon?
Doctor Strange.
I don't think it's Doctor Strange. I think that'd be too easy. We already know she's supposed to be in Doctor Strange. You think they'd make it so he'd show up knowing where? Would that be really revealing? Would that be so?
It's either him or Mephisto.
What? Who would it be played by that all of us would care?
Probably both.
You just holding on to Mephisto. So okay, y'all, let us know. Who do y'all think? Let us know. We're gonna close it out for now. But we will definitely, God willing, of course, be here for for what's
so I don't want to be.
Of course you don't. Yeah, you don't want to be wrong. You want to be like, oh, maybe.
It's so right. I hate to be wrong.
You hate to be wrong. No, we're holding it to it, Damon. We're holding you to it. You done
Spider-Man. Why won't it be Spider-Man? Right? He just over the bridge. He just over the bridge.
Right? Michael Damian is putting his bet that it is going to be Spider-Man. Josh is saying maybe the cameo is John Krasinski finally playing Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic. That may also be a thing. Bannon is saying it would be my dream for either Magneto or Professor X, but I really don't think so. It might be Doctor Strange or Spider-Man. He is in New York to send him on his multiverse journey. That may also be the case as well. Maybe something happens where Wanda opens up a thing, the multiverse of madness. Maybe she opens up a huge portal and everything goes crazy. That may be what we end up getting at the end of this season.
And what would make her do that?
Vision dying.
That bubble falls down and them kids ain't there no more.
Yeah, she loses the kids and she just goes berserk. But I don't think they're gonna make it so that Wanda's the bad person of the Doctor Strange. We already talked about how she's not gonna be they're not trying to make her the villain of the story. And I think if you did that, you would have to make her the villain of the story.
You think if they killed the kids, they had to make her the villain of the story?
Because it'd be really fueled by her grief, wouldn't it?
I mean, I would feel sad, but I mean, she got to realize that you can't have everything. You're gonna get Vision back, you're gonna lose the kids.
Okay. Ray is saying Wanda's like a hedge witch, like Julia, and Sage Strange is like quieting the magician from the magicians. Okay. I don't really watch The Magician, so I don't know that. Do you watch it, Damon? It's on Sci-Fi.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do watch The Magician. He called her a hedge witch.
Okay. Victoria is saying Doctor Strange finally getting off the road. Yeah, RC95 traffic. It'd be a lot of traffic from New York. David and I know we've done it. Catching an Uber to Times Square from Newark occasionally. It'd be hard getting over to Jersey from there. Bandit saying if the kids in Vision die, I will go berserk and tear a hole in the moon. Exactly. I just think that's too much for them. Zeke is saying, rest in peace to them kids. 2021.
2021 and 2021.
They not seeing past next week. Y'all are cold-blooded. This is Disney, y'all. They ain't even gonna let Blade be rated R. You think they killing kids?
What? Them kids don't exist. How are they gonna say? Them were not real kids.
Wow, y'all are cold-blooded. Red Eye's been saying from the beginning those kids ain't making it. So y'all are cold-blooded. See, he said, rest in peace to them kids. 2021. Y'all, that's messed up.
Oh, don't worry, they will be reborn.
Yeah.
It's canon.
Ray is saying, I'm with you from AfterBuzz too, but Iris ain't it, Lo. But Starfire be that thing, and new Batwoman love the woke life. Yes. Ray, what's up? Yes, AfterBuzz. R.I.P. that.
Oh, y'all people. When Titans coming back?
Titans, we don't know yet, but we did get some stuff. When I'm not sure if I'm gonna actually review it this season because I'm hearing some bogus stuff that I don't think I want to sit through.
Well,
but
Starfire ain't coming back.
Starfire is coming back, but some mess is coming on with Batgirl, and I don't like that character like that. Okay, so I'll probably do a video about it eventually. But yeah, so y'all don't think those kids are happening. So yeah, Bannon, they are all evil, man. Like, wow. Like, this is Disney. So
times in comics.
Yeah. Well, thank you all. This was a super episode live stream. We did 2 hours, y'all. Didn't even feel like it because y'all had so much y'all had to say. Y'all had this chat always popping. It is always such a great time to hang out with you all here, and my brother, of course. Especially y'all have made the start of our birthday weekend very fun. And thank you so much. And we'll see you hopefully, God willing, this Saturday as we see who was right and who was wrong, and if Mephisto comes back or exists in this whole Marvel.
Let me see this though. What if we don't see him but he is the villain in the multiverse. Do that still count as me being right?
No, it does not count as you being right because you claimed he was going to show up here. So you can't be flexible. You put your money down, okay? You said that Mephisto is showing up here.
I said Mephisto's going to be the big bad.
No. You said Mephisto's showing up here, Damon. Y'all, I done been with this. This is my brother for over 30-some years. I know how he play it. He's trying to be flexible so he can turn out that he's right. And y'all keep him to it, y'all. He's saying Mephisto supposed to come in WandaVision. So if he don't come, you wrong.
But WandaVision is connected to all other movies. Just take that into consideration.
All right. Okay, y'all. Yeah. No, Red Eyes, it does not count.
Yes, it
does. See, that's what I mean. Disney kills most of the moms in their movies. They move on to kids. That's also very true. Yeah.
Baby mother, like, it's about darn time.
Not just me, right? A name drop still counts. Whatever. I'm holding it to it for this episode. All right, y'all. Thanks so much. And, have a great rest of your weekend and a great week. Be safe out there. Till next time, let's continue slicing into these storylines and let's get creepy together.
Yes. Excelsior.
Excelsior.